We had Meneses for Swift with a total of 14 points. Saitono hitting 6 of his 8 points in the second quarter. On the other hand, for Coney Island, it has been the man mountain, Jerry Codinera, with 10 points. Patrimonio has added 8. Ravenna, before he had that injury, had 4 points. And look at this, Bong Ravenna, all set to join. Probably, I have it on good word from our producer that he will be joining the team on the floor.
Well, right now he has a severe sprain. They don't know if it's going to be termed later on or classified as a fracture. So that will be known after he has undergone some tests, probably.
Okay. And the route there might be towards the hospital already. Well, we find out.
Anyway, we have Naron seeing action for the very first time here for the Coney Island All-Stars. And as usual, he plays that point forward position, top
Yes.
of the key there. Try to set the plays from that area. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Too much time holding the ball. They are in trouble now. And Alvin has to shoot a long one. It goes in.
With time pressure on him, the captain delivered the goods. Coney Island is in front, 38-37. Patrimonio already in double-digit land with 10. Saitono going to work. His shot refuses to roll in. And a foul from the rear by Ria Lubit.
See, Jerry seems to be always on top of the shot of Nelson Saitono. He's forcing him to shoot fadeaway shots, not those movements that he usually makes underneath the basket, because Jerry isn't biting to the first fake that Nelson throws up against a defensive player. 1 point lead for Coney Island All-Stars. We are at the start of the third quarter.
Still in the first minute. Naron kept busy by Distrito. Here's Victorino, has been in and out of this ball game. Patrimonio, 2 in a row.
Well, you call him the captain, and we also know the legendary figure, Captain Courageous. Alvin playing hurt, but he's such a potent weapon. And if he continues to play that way, he's going to inspire the younger players on that squad.
Yes, absolutely. Leading by example.
Victorino picking up Meneses. Victorino, remember, has 3 fouls.
Meneses goes all the way in and got a foul. It's on Victorino. That'll be 4.
Well, at that stage, Victorino should have just let him go. Having been beaten to the baseline, he sees no help coming. That's why he goes up against Meneses, who just knows what to do by going under the basket and using the glass in that play. Vergel really shining here in this very important knockout game.
6 of 7 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
We have the count at 40 all, Seb, with a minute and a half gone by in the third quarter.
This is only the 4th standoff. Last time we were tied was at 16. Patrimonio digs deep inside, ended up collecting a foul. Ria Lubit is the guilty party. He ends up with his 4th personal foul.
3 trips down, they have gone to Patrimonio.
And they have been successful on 2 of them.
And he will get another opportunity to score, Seb, from the free throw line.
No problem about the first one. Patrimonio, as you mentioned, struggling in the semifinal round. Lowest production he had was against Santa Lucia, wherein he had only 8 points.
But see, because his minutes went down due to his injury and the fact that he had just come from a bout with flu, no? So
yes,
those things have really hurt him, but the 3-day rest is obviously doing him some good now in this ball game.
And he already has collected 14 across his name. Coney Island is in front by 2. A foul in the box. Evangelista gets number 2.
Evangelista had come in for Victorino. He has been assigned again to Meneses, and Meneses has been continuously attacking him by constantly moving.
Each side has been called for 2 team fouls. A total of 2 minutes going by us here. Solis with an attempt, no siree. Here's Frankie Lin taking care of the rebound. The forward pitch to Naron. The cut by Codinera. It is batted away. It will stay on the turf of the Coney Island Ice Cream Stars.
Frankie Lim will do the inbounds for the All-Stars. They have 19 seconds on their shot clock. 9:53 left in the second quarter.
Cordillera backpedaling against Asaytono. No problem.
Asaytono gives him too much space going into the inside, and he has been able to make fadeaway shots, no?
Yes, on the other hand, Cordillera already with 12 in the encounter.
That is a foul on Patrimonio, I think, who came out to help Frankie Lim after the switch. Frankie Lim had a big mismatch on his hands with Nelson Asaytono there, and there was a foul on Albin.
Which ends up as his third personal foul, the third on Coney Island as a group. 9.5 remaining. Meneses unable to catch it. Evangelista with a heist. Naron fakes, releases, gets it.
Any 2 points is going to help any team here, and Naron giving 2 points there on a fast break attempt again by the Coney Island All-Stars as they now take their biggest lead of the ball game, a 6-point lead.
Naron with a move reminiscent of his brilliance in 1989 when he was a member of the national youth team. Here's Solis into traffic. Offensive foul will be called against Solis.
Swift not doing a very good job at attacking the defense. Look at how many blue shirts are there in that area. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to go in. Albin willing to take the charge. And Solis picks up an offensive foul. Both teams, 3-team fouls so far here.
8 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Still in the third quarter. Downstairs we go to the captain. Outside to Frankie Lim. Not this time around. It's in the hands of the mighty meanies. Asaytono. Up.
Whoa!
Oh,
Somebody pushed him from underneath, and the referees let that go. He was pushed from underneath.
Naron can't nail it. And
One more time around. Let's see.
Asaytono brushes aside. Naron.
And he got him in the eye too. I wonder.
This is the first miss. The first attempt, to be specific. 2 views, 2 angles.
And this was the last one.
Second one, rather.
This time he wasn't going to go up into the air. He was going to fake. And Naron did the right foul in holding him down, but also got him in the eye. No? So 2 free throws here for Nelson Asaytono as Swift is still down by 6.
Asaytono, 3 of 3 from the 4.5-meter stripe tonight. Asaytono's biggest game in the semifinals was in their win against Alaska Milky at 32 points. In the last game between these two sides, he had 17 in that 92-84 victory of Swift against Coney Island.
Finally getting the 2 points the hard way from the 4.5-meter line, but putting a stop to the run of the All-Stars. All-Stars, Coney Island still on top by 4.
With 8 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Victoria ending up with his 4th personal foul.
And except for a 3-point shot that he threw somewhere there in the first or second quarter, he really hasn't gotten going. No?
Not much mileage out of the rookie here tonight.
This is a guy who has also hurt them by not playing well from the outside. That's Frankie Lim. We have Villamin called for his 4th personal foul on a loose ball foul on the weak side.
And now we have 3 gentlemen with 4 personal fouls on the Swift roster. They are Victoria with 4, Villamin with 4, as well as Meneses with 4. 8 and 10 to go. 4-point Coney Island advantage. Meanwhile, there's Naron losing it at the baseline. I'd like to correct myself. It's actually Ria Lubit who has 4 personal fouls.
That's why he was taken out after that last foul he gave up against Patrimonio in this quarter. Post play again here, except for Ferrell Meneses, the double team. Oh, very tight pass. You don't throw that kind of pass.
Too much traffic there.
And you're too far away from the basket to make a good pass that way.
He's open.
Yes. And the fans of the Coney Island All-Stars go wild here. 48-42, 6-point lead now for them. We are in the third quarter.
Cordillera, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Victoria, ice cold shooting. Frankie Lim barely made it. Jerry hit one there earlier. and they decide to swing it around.
I'm very surprised that Swift does not put a double teaming defense on Naron, and they let Coney Island set up their half-court game this way.
Maybe they'll discuss this in this timeout. They have just called. It is Coney Island in front by 8. Jerry Cordillera, who has hit 20 points or more in 5 of the 8 semifinal games of Coney Island, has exploded once more, and somehow Patrimonio isn't far behind whenever he explodes.
Well, they are the reasons why their team has gone so far in this conference despite having a lot of rookies and new players on that squad. You remember the times of Philip Cesar and let's say a Gidaben or a Fernandez and Abe King. That's why those two teams control the PBA too much.
Excellent
Their big
point.
men are
Yes.
so good, you know.
Solis is in the clear.
And if those
No.
three-point shots don't fall, Swift is in a lot of trouble in this ball game because Coney Island is shutting them off from the blue paint.
6:34 remaining in the third. Naron. Solis takes care of the rebound. Here's Victoria. Meneses. Clear out for Vergel. There's the double. The pass to Boybits on the way, but there was a foul.
A bump foul called on Patrimonio. That'll be number 4 now on him. So that's going to hurt their team as he has to be replaced. We're only in the third quarter with over half a quarter to go.
And quickly off the bench comes Manny Victorino. And Patrimonio leaves you for the time being after netting 14 points and snaring 4 rebounds.
Victoria going to the free throw line. Both teams have now hit 5 team fouls apiece. Victoria was also in the act of shooting in that play. That's why he is going to the free throw line. Averages against Coney Island, but it's not evident there tonight.
And Richard Merck and Reno Salazar in town, and that's Richard saying PBA Hanep in so many words.
He has always been coming to the PBA ever since, even when we were at the Ultra. We have Bognot seeing action for the first time, replacing Nelson Asaitono. We have Ravenna also being shown on your screens, the gutsy guy. Talk about x-rays later on. Let me watch the game first. Let me cheer for the team. At least I can cheer, you know.
Let me try to do a Willis Reed here. Of course, Willis Reed in the 1970
yes.
in the NBA. Meanwhile, Victorino has a contribution.
You see, Victorino really is an offensive type of big player, but with the All-Stars, he had to adjust his kind of game. But given the go signal, you know, the guy can score. Double team. Let Bognot shoot from the outside. Pick up the rebound. All-Stars really have their game plan going here in the third quarter.
Just one trip every time.
And
for
always
Coney.
slowed down,
For
partner.
Swift, sorry.
Always slowed down.
Yes.
Unless you get a clear fast break, slow down. Use the clock.
The element of control, huh?
Nice. An offensive foul, however, called against...
His third personal foul, just for the sake of some of the very young members of our audience. I know this happened 24 years ago, but Willis Reed, who was then the captain of the New York Knicks, was injured, didn't play in the 6th game, came out in the 7th game to a thunderous applause at the Madison Square Garden, just enough.
And he even played. He
Yes,
scored 4
4
points.
points.
See, but that was all that he could help. But
Yes.
the emotion really lifted up the rest of the team and the crowd, and they won the championship that year. Plus, it helps if you have a Walt Frazier, Dave DeBuscher, Bill Bradley, Dick Barnett. We have a foul called on Jerry Cordillera on that drive by Benjamin. They are in the penalty. Yoyo to the free throw line.
52-44 is the current score. Racela reports back in. Naron, he did his job.
Yes, and he gave them minutes, which was very important. He also caused some match-up problems. Although Solis is not a bad defender, Naron certainly is much bigger, and if he gets underneath the basket, there would be problems. Swift missing from the free throw line. And who is this?
An interesting face, and it belongs to Gladys Dueñas. I understand she is Miss UST.
So she might be cheering for guys like Ray Evangelista, who comes from that. Benjamin missing both free throws, very important free throws now that they are down by 8. You come from UST? I was talking to Willie here.
I know my friend Willie Caballes, the sports
I think
assistant
also
sports
Rudy
editor.
Navarro,
Yes.
the editor of Tempo. Jerry continues to have a hot hand, and like I said, he's the best player on that squad right now. We're looking for his first ever MVP with that kind of performance.
His biggest games have in fact come against this team. 25 points in the first meeting in the semifinals, 23 in the last one.
There is no style right now, or you could say science in the game of Swift. It's who's free, take the shot, three-point shot, whatever, you know.
Wherever love takes me.
And even the rebounding is not synchronized. And that's why the All-Stars have a 10-point lead, have total control of this ball game here in the third quarter. They'll use the clock again. Even though they have a big lead, they have the momentum, they have been using and milking the clock well.
They are controlling the mood and the momentum. Jerry shoots on the way down. Shot it with a lot of time pressure. In fact, the clock was down to 2 seconds. Meanwhile, we have Eric Reyes checking in for Benjamin. The clock reads 3:46 to go in the third, a 10-point Coney Island advantage.
Frankie Lim is now being replaced by Capaccio. Frankie Lim unable to hit his three-point shots. All of a sudden, gun shy to even do so. You know, when you start missing that in the beginning, you know, even when you're free, you're beginning to think, maybe I shouldn't take it. Do it later on, you know. And that's why he's been taken out.
The lead is 10. Shot clock is down to 10. Asaitono, nothing. Boybits, Distrito. Hold it.
Well, Rosella with a foul there that will send Victoria, a pretty good free throw shooter, to the 4.5-meter line. Not the kind of defense that they want a defensive foul that they want to give up, because the guy was not yet in shooting position. But letting him go to the free throw line will hurt your defense, no? Tonight, 7 points so far. Had a three-point shot. Like I said, he's a pretty good free throw shooter, and that's where he wants to go.
Scored 20 when they lost to Coney Island the first time in the semis. When they won, he scored 12. Biggest game, as we mentioned, was that 26-pointer against Alaska Milk, which they won.
9 points in the ball game now for him. 8-point lead for the All-Stars. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, third quarter of play.
Rosella, escape act.
Yes! And Rosella with a very nice spin move, about 25 feet away from the basket, which left Victoria with his tongue out.
Eat the dust or whatever is left. Asaitona, 3 of 9 from the field. Victoria traveled.
Under time pressure again, forced to make good decisions. They were not able to do so.
And Coney Island takes a timeout. They're in front by 10 with 2:45 to play. Welcoming you back to our Friday night special. Coney Island against Swift for the right to meet San Miguel in the finals of the All-Filipino starting Sunday. 2.5 to go. Long time doesn't work. Rebound in the hands of Asaitono.
And the white shirts have not really been able to run in this ball game. That is the kind of game that they like to play so much. They're not able to do so. Good pass there, but no success on that shot by Eric Reyes.
Just to bring back to the point about the rebounding, so much in the hands of the Ice Cream Stars.
Well, you see, they don't use Jerry to double team, you know. Unless you attack the guy that Jerry is guarding, he's going to block down those defensive rebounds if you take the shot from the outside.
Meanwhile, misses on both ends. Codinera already with a collection of 9 rebounds, a minute 50 to go, and a blocking foul.
It's going to be called against Capaccio, so Rudy Distrito will go to the free throw line. Capaccio also picking up his 4th personal foul.
Glenn Capaccio had a significant contribution of 6 points in the first half of play. And the destroyer will be on your screens after we check out on Huria Lubit will change. It's Reyes. Distrito, not exactly the hottest of nights from the field, only 1 of 6.
Well, Yengia right now is going to the big guns that have won him 6 of their last 7 games in the semifinals. Remember, Solis was hurt. So he's coming off non-playing practices. You know, actually he hasn't really played in active competition. So these are the guys that were really responsible for them. He knows that he cannot wait for the fourth quarter to make the run. He's got to do it here.
Here's Distrito who improved his average in the semifinal round. The protagonists, our love triangle if you would want it. He's waiting for somebody to dance with. I want to dance with somebody. He isn't picky though.
He has no right to be picky. That's going to be an offensive foul there called on Evangelista. Like I said, it's not his choice. He can hope for somebody to play against, but he really doesn't have a choice. It's not up to him.
Meanwhile, that offensive foul against Evangelista resulted in his fourth personal foul.
So 3 of those 4 guys playing on the floor there for the Coney Island All-Stars have 4 fouls there.
A minute and a half remaining.
A double team with that side.
Good catch. Finally, a clear shot.
Finally, a 4-0 run for them as they cut down that big 10-point lead to 6 right now. Minute and 16 left. Plenty of them to them. Swift's trying to improve its defense now. Its coordination.
Well, it's the one that brought them. It's the one that brought them here. However, they throw it away. Rosella with 2 fakes. Back to Rosella. He'll take it. No.
That hurt. That jumper could have really cut off that momentum of Swift.
Capaccio knocking it away.
Rhea Lubit, as we take a look at some of the ladies here who are watching this ball game.
And talking of beautiful faces, and you'll see a lot of them later on tonight at 10:30 on New Vision 9. It's called Faces of the Universe, a beautiful experience. And I think big and part of that will be the party, beauty, and brawn at Faces, which we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
Well, Coney Island has thrown this kind of defense the whole night. For the first time, they got called here in the third quarter, and for the first time, they get called with an illegal defense, which is a warning called against their team right now.
Keeping a tab on the offensive fouls of the game so far, Coney has been charged with 8, Swift with 4. Down to the last 35 seconds of the third canto of this knockout match. Meneses, straight but not true. Good pass. They couldn't get it to go. Yes, go ahead, please.
And it resulted in a loose ball foul for Nelson Asaitono. A great pass here to Rhea Lubit, who missed underneath the basket. And that really hurt them, because that was 2 points that could have cut down the lead to 4. Asaitono picks up a foul, and Jerry will go to the free throw line.
And the reaction of Rhea Lubit, illustrating what Dr. J just mentioned. 6-point lead by the Ice Cream Stars of Coney Island. Abuda, who made a brief appearance in the first half, reports in once more. Solis comes in for Boybits Victoria,
who leaves with 4 personal fouls. Well, 2 free throws here for Evangelista, who was the one pushed away by Nelson Asaitono in that rebound play. He misses the first. These are pressure moments for a rookie, you know.
Not bad. Not a bad line against Swift. And Coney Island manages to carve out a 7-point lead with 20 seconds remaining in the third.
Well, I don't think Swift is going to rush this offensive play, but that's a nice pass, and he's committed, and a traveling violation called on Rhea Lubit. They did set up for a last shot. They attacked too early, came up again with a turnover, and you know Coney Island's going to use this 12.5 seconds. Because Rosella's not going to make the same mistake he did in the second quarter when he rushed it.
I think in that situation they were trying to play Guido again.
Yes.
However, they ended up being snared in that trap, big block. However, there's a corner flip. Evangelista fighting for a loose ball foul in the inside.
It's going to be a Meneses.
And the actual count on Meneses, his first personal foul. I erroneously mentioned that he had 4. It was actually Rhea Lubit who had 4, so Meneses with just 1. We're down to the last 3 seconds of this third quarter.
Well, Abuda trying to get the 2 points, threw up an air ball. Lucky for him, Evangelista saw that air ball coming and was in good position for a follow-up shot. Earlier, he split his charities. He makes the first one. They have an 8-point lead with 3 seconds left in the third quarter.
Slowly but surely, a 9-point lead.
An air ball here by Al Solis trying to beat the buzzer.
We'll need one more quarter to decide who meets San Miguel Beer when the finals of the All-Filipino starts. Personal foul at the top of this fourth quarter. Al Solis is going to be on the line.
Well, the very first play in the fourth quarter, Swift made a different play. They put Nelson Aceitono to the top of the foul circle and use him as a passer as they attack with their small men. Instead of always trying to post up their big men where they were having so much problems. With Nelson up there, Jerry was also thrown out of the blue paint.
And we have the entire fourth quarter ahead of us with 1,000,001 things that can still possibly happen here.
Oh, definitely so. Swift is an explosive team. If you give them momentum, they can make the comeback. Not if Jerry continues to hit those kind of shots. I mean, those are really very difficult shots. Now, the defense was there. He just hit a difficult fadeaway shot.
Another 20-point game by Jerry Codinera.
Same play with Aceitono starting from on top.
Shot clock down to 9. Vergel blocked. It is outside on the baseline.
And Jerry does a lot of things, including shooting. Besides that, he also blocks shots when you try to drive to the basket as shown in this play. Meneses trying to hang in there, and Jerry just uses those long arms to swat it away.
61-52, a minute going by us here in the fourth quarter. Codinera, a prolific 10 of 17 from the field.
And that's very high percentage. You have to think that he's not really shooting from the inside all the time.
Yes,
you know?
good
Not
point.
underneath the basket. Shot clock is down to 5.
They are in a bit of trouble, but they end up with a jump.
That's a good break for Coney Island,
Yes.
because obviously lying down, they could not do anything with the ball. But the jump will at least give them a shot at picking up possession, even though there will be a big mismatch in the jump.
Coney Island is 2 wins against 1 loss against Swift when the Ice Cream Stars lead at the start of the fourth quarter.
Now that's a close statistics. Although, if you look at the control of the game, you can see that the All-Stars really have controlled the second half. It is for Swift to make it turn around here in the
Yes.
last 10 minutes and 41 seconds of the game.
So we will have a jump in the keyhole area of the Ice Cream Stars. So the loser here eventually goes on to play for third spot.
Against Alaska.
Yes.
Bad tap there, although Jerry almost couldn't control it. The All-Stars keep it, and they have a fresh 22-second clock right now.
Jerry momentarily visited press row and just said,
Hi, guys.
"Do you have my numbers?" I'm sure they do. Scramble! Here come the Mighty Meaties trying to roar back into this game.
Three-point shot.
No siree, that shot has not worked for them here tonight.
It has hurt them because it has been a source of power for them, and the green light is not on that area. Although I think they did the right thing and they pushed the ball up quickly because they want to run. That's what Swift wants to do here, and they cannot get off to a good start on the running game. Ooh, almost a three-point play for Capascio.
What Coney Island has done so effectively is to put a ball and chain on the feet of the Mighty Meaties by really controlling the tempo of the game.
And the Mighty Meaties have not used a full-court man-to-man trapping defense, whether trapping or straight-up man-to-man, to sort of speed up the game and force the turnovers on the part of the Coney Island All-Stars. With the use of a lot of players that are not seasoned, they could have at least forced some turnovers, but they have allowed the All-Stars to go into the half-court game without being bothered at all.
9 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the payoff fourth quarter. Solis. Vergel Meneses. Boybits, shot clock cut down to 10. Aceitono gets blocked. Realumic blocked partially. Marcela tried to keep it in play. Yes, gets to it. Talk of hustle.
And the All-Stars fan are alive. Good defense, another control of the half-court game.
Five on the shot clock. Jerry, is he aware of the clock?
No, but that's what they want. Whether they make the shot or not, that's what they want. And the lead now is a dozen points, 64 to 52.
This is the biggest lead enjoyed by Coney Island in tonight's KO knockout match. 8:48 to go. Boybitz, he is trying to find the shot. Nelson can't get into his shot, finally gets one.
That is a power play on the part of Asaytono, cutting the lead down to 10. A lot of time in this match, Seb.
Yes, Dr. J, I think what Coney Island has taken away so completely is the first big step of Nelson Asaytono. He has had to climb into
Good
the shot.
block.
Yes, that's a big block.
Victoria with a good defensive stop.
Good ball break, Berhel Meneses, and it's a 4-0 run.
That's their kind of game, when they can come down and play the one-on-one. Defense is not set. That's what they want to do.
64 to 56, 8 minutes to go. Capaccio working on the outside, shot clock down to 5. Here's Jerry shooting with time pressure. This one didn't go. Capaccio fighting inside. Evangelista!
Strong offensive rebounding from the weak side. And a big offensive rebound.
With 7:38 to go, it's a 10-point spread by Coney Island. Hold it, says referee Ernie De Leon. Evangelista with his 5th personal. Let's check on our photo line. Break fluid, fast break.
Good steal here by Victoria, and Jerry, like I said, preserving his fouls. This was in the first quarter. He gave that up. He gave up the 2 points. Jerry's now being rested by Manny Victorino, and Alvin Patrimonio has come in for Abuda.
Cordillera, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 1 shot block. Big numbers for the 4-time member of the all-defensive team of the PBA. And the intimidation factor against Asaytono. Asaytono now with a little better, clearer view of the floor.
Well, they broke that press very well. They broke the trap on Berhel Meneses very well, and they knew exactly how to get the ball to Asaytono, who cut at the proper time. Timing is so important in breaking up this kind of defensive sets.
66 to 58, approaching 7 minutes now. Patrimonio.
And the captain fully rested for about 6-7 playing minutes. And maybe in actual time, that might be 10 to 15. Came in and made the 2 points.
Sorry, Dr. J. Just like to remind our viewers that the Ice Cream Stars are the defending champions of this particular tournament. And are trying to hold on to that crown. It's a 10-pointer with 6.5 remaining. Coney Island and Toto has been hitting 50% of its shots. On the other hand, Swift only 19 of 53. Asaytono.
Power play again by Asaytono against Manny Victorino one-on-one. Still a lot of time in this match. 6 minutes to go. 8-point lead for the All-Stars.
Here's Ray Evangelista taking a serious look inside. Here's the captain, Victorino. 5 on the shot clock. This play goes haywire. Loose ball foul, however.
Loose ball foul,
Capaccio ending up with his 5th. Rosella will move out as Frankie Lim comes back in. Abuda also comes in for Evangelista. Rosella, however, quickly back in for Capaccio, Dr. J.
Well, obviously with 5 personal fouls, they don't want the Capaccio to foul out at this moment. This ball game is not yet won, and you can see the big drop in the second half field goal percentage of Swift. Only 19%. That's like 2 out of every 10 shots attempted.
exactly efficient, huh?
Don't win ball games that way. You
No
gotta
way.
lift it up.
Also in question there, of course, when you have numbers like that, the quality of the shots being taken.
Yes, and Nelson really took a very poor shot selection in that last attempt of his.
This fourth quarter is down to 5 and 15. Coney Island has 4 timeouts to call. Swift with 3. Frankie Lim, triple B.
It hasn't fallen the whole night.
Patrimonio climbing for the rebound. Asaitono emerging with his third. And some very worried Patrimonio fans. They're over there just beside that goal. They were up in arms there.
Well, an extra clip there by Solis after the whistle had been blown. Asaitono going back to his bench, obviously a very tired man, as he has been replaced, trying to do too much on his own. A lot of one-on-one plays, you know, looking for the fouls, which sometimes aren't there.
No question about the minutes he has played and the energy he has spent here.
Solis with another foul.
That will be number 2. Both teams have been called for 3 team fouls. It is still 68-60 with 5 minutes and a second remaining. Frankie Lim, not exactly the best of nights from three-point land. Only, so far, 5 attempts, no conversions.
But he had no choice but to take the last one because he was wide open and the shot clock was winding down. One-on-one for Albert. And the White Shirts are running.
This is when they are happiest. However, the play is botched. It's stalled. Hold it.
Illegal defense will be charged against the All-Stars, and that'll be a technical foul called against them since it's the second time around for them.
So 2 days of preparation, study, and hard work now boils down to 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
And that could be the longest 4 minutes and 40 seconds. For the All-Stars, that could be the longest. They have been in the lead since almost the start of the second half. But you can never say. There's always that saying, he who laughs last, laughs best.
Well said, Dr. J. We have a timeout. Basketball on a great Friday night, 68-61. Coney Island is in front by 7 with 4.5 remaining. Oh, what's the call?
Another illegal defense. And that now is going to begin to hurt the Coney Island All-Stars. Slowly but surely, giving up points, giving a good 25-second shot clock again. It's beginning to hurt them. They already got called for 1 earlier. And Boybits made that technical free throw shot.
This is singer Joni Feliciano. Of course, great jazz singer also. And on the other lady we failed to mention earlier.
Well, she's married to a baron, I think from Austria, if I'm not mistaken. But she's known better as a model and former model Eva Abdisamis, a very popular lady, well known in society.
I know Johnny Feliciano, her dad, had a great dance time show and was a great sportsman himself.
A missed three-point attempt by Solis that could have cut the lead down to half. It stands at 6 right now.
And with 4:12 to go. Patrimonio with 5 on the shot clock. Jerry, one-hander, wait a minute.
A foul called on Ria Lubit. Is it on Ria Lubit or is it on Solis?
Solis. Count that as number 3 against Al Solis.
Both teams have 3 team fouls. Again, the patience of Coney Island is going to be evident here. Unless you get a clear layup, they're not going to rush it.
Patrimonio. Plenty of time on the shot clock. It reads 13. Patrimonio goes away.
Well, Alvin, you cannot stop him by using your knees. You know, you're trying to knock him off with your knees. He's just going to use his power to curl around you as he did against Benjamin in that play. Back to an 8-point lead for them. Oh, bad pass. Meneses not being able to fight the double team. Lost the cutter. And Asaitono's got to be sent back in.
The lead is 8 points. 3.5 minutes to go.
Still no pressure, no trapping, straight up man-to-man being employed by Swift, and that's hurt them here in the second half. They do double team at the post, but they do not trap early.
5 on the shot clock. Victorino with a heave. Again, shooting with time pressure on. But as Dr. J pointed out, that is exactly what they want to do. Solis sets for a 3.
And they can't hit the three-point shot. Solis giving up a frustrating foul.
Al Solis collects number 4. Villalobit are checking that. Villamin moves out. Aceitono's back in. Distrito in for Solis with 3 minutes and a second remaining.
You see, Solis is really trying, and he's trying so hard. But see, having come off an injury and not having played competitive basketball, it's not easy to find the range right away. I mean, he can hit that with his eyes closed.
Again, we mentioned he missed 5 of the 8 games of Swift in the semifinal round.
Finally, they're doing a little trapping here to force up Coney Island. However, Frankie Lim, a very veteran guard, does not rush it. Shot clock is down to 8 now, and there's another foul on Aceitono.
That will be number 4 on Aceitono. Swift already in the penalty.
Biggest lead of the ball game was 12 points for Coney Island. They have it at 8 right now. Swift, after having led going into the first half, after the end of the first half, and by being overtaken, Sebas never led here in the second half after that.
Oh.
Coney Island just threw a monkey wrench into their plans.
Sawdust into their machine, name it.
Big break here for Swift. It looked like that ball bounced off a white shirt on the way out. Although Albin did tap it, it bounced off a white shirt. I think the correction has been made. The All-Stars will keep possession.
Yes. And the management of Coney Island, they're happy too. Back with us here at the Astrodome as we take a look at the hustle board, the numbers, as far as aggressiveness is concerned. Rebounds, the edge to Coney Island. The steals, slight edge for Swift as far as the blocks are concerned. The count here, 71-62. Coney Island is in front with 2 minutes and 40 remaining and in possession. Marcela looks for a receiver. Shot clock down to 12. Shot clock down to 9. Patrimonio losing control. It'll go Swift's way.
Well, down by 9 points, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Not an impossible task, but they have to rush their shots and they have to make it fall now. Again, the double team and a bad pass there, a turnover, and they are falling apart here in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Mighty Meaties are falling apart.
Don't forget, later on in the evening on RPN New Vision 9, join the Faces of the Universe. That's coming your way, 10:30 p.m. right after the newscast there. It's going to be a beautiful experience. Enjoy watching beautiful faces.
Rudy Distrito giving up this foul against Frankie Lim, which will send Frankie Lim to the free throw line. All the advantages belong now to Coney Island. 3 team fouls, 3 timeouts left, 3 full timeouts, up by 9, 2 free throws coming up for Frankie Lim.
Yes. But what a campaign Swift has made here in the semifinals, Dr. J, coming in last at the end of the eliminations with 5 wins against 5 losses and winning 6 of their 8 games.
Well, the veterans, I think, again, pulling through for the All-Stars. Of the rookies, Evangelista played pretty well. And Rosella really helped out tonight, you know, in the absence of Frankie Lim's offensive game, who split his charities there. Meneses, who was like a house on fire there, has really tapered down, but Aceitono does not give up. And let's see this trapping defense now.
Nasa last 2 minutes na tayo, mga kababayan. Hatid sa inyo ng Emperador Brandy. Dito na po tayo sa totoo Emperador Brandy. Patrimonio escapes. He liked that.
was just trying to call a timeout, but he was just too late. That was a good foul again here by Rosella. They're not in the penalty.
And with 1:42 remaining, and Coney Island in front by 10. A timeout is taken. We'll be back.
1:42 seconds left to go. One timeout left for the Swift Mighty Meaties, 3 for Coney Island. Coney Island All-Stars looking for a trip to the finals, on top by 10 points. Only 1:42 left.
Inbound by the Mighty Meaties. Coney Island, 14 fouls. Swift in the penalty.
Look for some three-point attempts on the part of the Swift Mighty Meaties. Oh, and even that bounce pass didn't go to the right person. Error after error have hurt.
And Rosella breaks the trap with Cordillera. It is waiting arms for that pass. And a foul.
1:27 left. Cordillera trapped by 3 white shirts, but the foul given up by Distrito. Finals will begin on Sunday.
No rest for the weary, huh, Dr. Jack?
Well, the price of not going number 1, you know, for number 1, they did get some rest, you know. Manny Victorino being replaced now by Capaccio.
Gallant stand, nonetheless, by Swift. Just we're beaten to the punch here in the second half. Got it straight on the kisser.
76-64. Victoria driving hard, given the layup, but missing that one too. Nothing will fall. Not their night.
Close output by Chef Patrimonio. Trying to put the icing on the cake here.
Yeah, that is the nail on the coffin. And Patrimonio does not seem to be hurt the way he's playing.
Yes.
3-point attempt by Victoria.
A minute to go. And it looks like Coney Island will keep a tradition of the franchise.
That's right. Victoria will get another layup here.
52 seconds.
There's a 9-point lead now. Oops.
Rosella tiptoes across the timeline and he's clipped.
His 6th personal foul.
Victoria. 16 points. As well as 9 rebounds. So, Coney Island and San Miguel Beer meet anew, Dr. J.
Well, people moving around us are saying replay of last year for the finals.
Yes.
Of course, we don't know the results yet. Only God knows. And it should be a dandy here. It should be a dandy for the finals. Another lesson learned here for the Swift Mighty Meaties. They will probably return Ronnie Tompkins to the second conference of where they are the defending champions. But then the All-Filipino will again have escaped them.
They will leave the All-Filipino, although with a chance to play for third.
Another 3-point attempt, and what a time for Solis to hit that. You know, that had come in earlier. Could have been a lot.
Could have made the world of difference.
Yes, you're damn right. He was given so many opportunities, clear shots, he just couldn't bear it.
Director Abet Ramos is firing away endless instructions into my ears. Yes, we will have a ton of interviews at the end of the game, and we will get as many of the personalities involved, both for the finals, and of course we'll try to talk to others involved on the losing side. We'll get them all for you. Of course, Ronnie Nathaniels now is moving about, trying to find the best possible personality to talk with.
80-72 here. Swift could use their timeout yet. Yes, they are.
81-72. We're just 35.9 seconds away from the completion of this game. And don't forget, later on tonight, 10:30, I'll have to rush home right after this game to find out the lovely faces of the universe on the other station, on Channel 9.
That's right. Swift called its last time out. Hopefully, they're going to gun for a three-point attempt here again. This one doesn't fall.
Alvarillo trying to... He was a bit hesitant whether he would foul Capaccio or not.
Finally, a foul by Meneses and Franklin. 28.2 seconds left in this match.
Mighty Meaties, the offensive machine, did not go full speed tonight.
You see a little wide open right now, and they only have 72 points set, so they may not even make 80, which shows already the kind of defense that was thrown against them, which lowered their field goal percentage, which got them off track.
And they were even poised, except for these baskets towards the end, to come up with a very low score, even lower than the all-time low as far as the output of a game is concerned.
Solis throwing up a prayer there.
Rosella speeds into his front court, and Coney Island is just 14 seconds away from the finals, upholding a company tradition that began way back when they joined the league in 1988. As we mentioned, they were there from 1988 to 1990 with nothing but frustrating campaigns, losing to Añejo in 1988, 89 losing to San Miguel, in 1990 losing to Presto, finally winning it in 1991, lost to San Miguel in 1992, then they won it last year against San Miguel Beer, 4-2.
And as you can see the changes as the big guns have been taken out. This guy has helped tonight. He has concentrated on the game. Usually a very quiet player, but an effective one.
And a foul is still given up by Solis. That's his fifth.
And the All-Star fans are going wild.
They will have a chance to defend their crown, Dr.
Yes.
J.
Well, defending champions usually defend it well, or they try to. And the most important thing is to have a crack at it, as they have right now. Mr. Rene Buhayin, breathing a little bit easier right now.
Yes. (85-72). Solis wants to add on. 85-74. And Alvarillo giving up the foul. A penny for your thoughts, Chotreas.
Well, usually I think he's very happy that his game plan worked. And I think there will be a moment to thank God for giving that opportunity to play again. Yang looks very sporty. He did not really show any emotion of disgust, whether towards the players or towards the officials tonight.
He was on an even keel here tonight. Controlled aggression, if you may. And that will do it. 86-74. Coney Island is in the finals. Final count 86-74.
Being the sportsman that they are, despite all those world awards, the two coaches meet at half court together with team manager Mariana and of course assistant coach Narvasa.
Ronnie Nathaniels is with Chotreas. Take it away.
Coach Chotreas, an emotional moment for you, Coach. A very emotional moment for you. I know you were the underdog, but you had enough character to see this through.
It's very emotional because no one thought we would get here. We had to go to this playoff against a team that was favored to be in the finals, and I'm just overcome by the effort of my players. I'm very proud of them. I'd like to thank our manager, Mr. Buhayin, was behind us all the way, and we're looking forward to a great championship finals.
You know, Coach, like you said, at the start of the conference, nobody even gave you a chance of coming into the semi-finals, let alone moving into the championship. But you showed character, and I think if you were looking at big men today, Jerry Cordinera must have been the man.
Mr. Buain talked to Jerry before the game, and he told Jerry he didn't want him to just be superior. He wanted Jerry to dominate. Domination was the word for Jerry, and I guess he showed it tonight.
And also the leadership of Alvin Patrimonio. I know he's playing with a little bit of problem. He's playing hurt, but he showed guts, a fighting heart, and when you needed him most, he was there.
We had to pace him. We couldn't play him too many minutes, but I told him no matter how many minutes he plays, he just has to give me everything every time he's on the floor, and he did just that. All the players, Olsen, Glenn, Frankie, Ray, Manny Victorino, Bong Ravenna was crying at the dugout on halftime, and all he was saying was, stop Verhel, stop Verhel. And that just showed the spirit and the character of this team.
Was the game plan to stay close to Swift at the end of the first half because you knew that as the minutes wore by, they would kind of break down the stretch?
We wanted to keep the score low because Swift is the highest scoring team in the semifinals in the league. So we felt if we could keep the score in the low 80s, then we'd have a very good chance. And we went out and went after Verhel all the way, and it paid off.
Now you're looking ahead to the championship battle. It's a repeat of last year. Is it going to be a repeat of last year in terms of the end result?
We hope so, Ronnie. We hope so. But getting here, I'm very thankful to the Lord for allowing us to get here. My only promise is we have a motto. We say 100% in this team is ordinary. So in the finals, you'll see 120, 130% every time.
Coach, once again, congratulations. You did a superb job and you deserved everything you've got.